Caswin. I am excited to talk to you all today. We are celebrating our upcoming event here for the Midwest Real Estate Networking Summit. And as a part of that, we're going to be talking to some of our speakers. One in particular is Mr. Brandon Schlichter. So we're going to bring him on in just a moment. Before we do that, for those of you who already have your ticket to the event, we are looking forward to seeing you May 6th and 7th in Chicago. If you have not gotten your event or your ticket yet, today is the last day to get it for pre-sale pricing. All right. So get your pre-sale tickets right now. We actually have a special promo code. If you use Midwest, you will save an additional $30 on that ticket. So get it right now. It's the best time to get it. You'll also get access to our private Facebook group where you'll get some Q&As with speakers like Brandon. You'll also get some exclusive content, and you get to network with some of the people who are going to be at this event. So with all that said, let's get ready to bring on our speaker for the day, Mr. Brandon Schlichter.
How's it going?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. Brandon, how are you doing today?
Wonderful.
Excellent. Well, listen, Brandon, I did not really go over your bio very much. So why don't you take a minute and introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. My name's Brandon Schlichter. I go by Investment Joy, mostly on social media. I'm decently popular on social media for business, money, finance, real estate type content. Have over 1 billion video views, 5 million active subscribers. But that's not my real claim to fame. It's not really in the social media field. It's more of the fact that I grew up pretty poor. I've been evicted twice. I started actively investing in real estate in 2013. Between 2013 and now, I've built about a $10 million portfolio, most of which is real estate, but I also have several $1 million of that $10 million number in business holdings, which I guess is one of the things a lot of people want to hear me talk about boring, old-fashioned type businesses that, as far as I'm concerned, if you're real estate investors, one of those things you should consider. Do a lot of work with a lot of private money investment. Don't deal with a lot of banks, so I'll use a lot of alternative money strategies, and just generally love talking about all of these things on social media. Most people know me for owning a bunch of vending machines or my laundromat. Not to say anything bad about those investments, but still my bread and butter are real estate investments. Also co-own a trailer park. And then we have about 135 rental units currently in my portfolio. And I also own a small self-storage facility. So some people like talking about self-storage. So I have a little bit of experience on there too. And just, jack of all trades, master of none, I guess, when it comes to the investment world.
So you got your hands in a lot, right? I heard you talk about some businesses. I heard you talk about some different self-storage and some, all sorts of different investments and rentals as well. So what excites you the most, right? And why are you so spread out? Is this something where it's a shiny object syndrome, or is there kind of a little bit of a method to the madness as far as how you started to expand your resources there?
Well, I've been doing active real estate investment since 2013, and it's a situation where I was looking at a piece of real estate back in 2017, 2018, and prior to that point, I never considered buying a business, especially something like a car wash, which I have 2 of those now, or the laundromat, which I have 1 of those at this point. Never just looked at the numbers on them, and then just really understood how real estate works, how multifamily and single family works. Those are just easy investments. And I talked to the owner of a property we were looking at, mostly for the apartments upstairs. I thought, well, it comes with a laundromat. That I guess could be an interesting thing, but I'm on it for the real estate. And I talked to the elderly lady who was the business owner, and I asked her, how much money does this laundromat produce every month? And she said, oh, it's $8,500 a month. I thought, holy crap. When I was looking at the real estate only, I was looking at 2 apartments, a garage, and then some office space. The laundromat, I was going to just triple net lease it out, just put that mess off to somebody else and let them run it. And that immediately changed the numbers of this deal. We were looking at acquiring it for only $60,000. The laundromat was in disrepair, but it just blew my mind. A $60,000 piece of property, a real estate investment with a business that if I could bring in half of that as profit, would just absolutely change the numbers. The real estate was going to maybe do $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year on a $60,000 investment. That was great, but if I could do like $40,000 a year from that laundromat, I could almost have 100% cap rate. And I just thought, why wouldn't anybody buy an investment like this? So then I ended up buying it and found out, what all there took to run the laundromat. But then I started implementing my work crews. And a lot of the people that worked inside my real estate business were also able to just go fit themselves into the laundromat business. And it quickly became one of those things where I thought, why don't more real estate investors consider investments like these? And as time's gone on, I've just got into those kinds of things, kind of looking at a grocery store at this point. Ended up getting storage lockers, have two car washes as of the car washes today. I'm doing a little work on those. It's just one of those things where for me, it's a really nice thing to have along with me because I'm an active partner in the laundromat and car wash. I take active depreciation on it. And my real estate investments are great because I get active treatment on that. But the depreciation that I'm getting off of these businesses absolutely phenomenal. And for me, it's a really great strategy to lower my AGI at the end of the year and get a lot of benefit from these businesses that are also making really good money compared to how I've traditionally been investing in real estate, or at least how I guess I would say traditional investing in real estate with single family detached and small multifamily.
I think the thing that's interesting there is that you talked about the business side of it, right? And being an active owner in this business and allowing kind of that the passive components of
Mhm.
real estate investing to really play with that, so you can reduce your tax liability, right? And not just that, but you mentioned that 100% or that 100 cap rate based on the profits you're getting. You're making all your money back in the first year. It's kind of an amazing
Yep.
opportunity to do that. And obviously, every deal is not going to be that way, but it certainly starts to give people a sense of how and why you're looking at different asset classes, something like laundromats, car washes, and other things. I know a lot of people follow you on, TikTok and YouTube in particular because you make these amazing videos. Talk to us a little about that. How are you attracting these people and what is it that they find interesting about your content?
I know that when I grew up, I was always big into like simulation video games. You can run a business on a game and you'd play it, and it was fun. Video games with numbers. I just always enjoying that as a kid. But then when I became an adult, it really was odd to me because no one wanted to talk numbers. No one wanted to say, "Well, how much does this business make?" No, you can't ask that question. No one will answer you. And got to this aggravating point in real estate or in business back in 2013. That's when I started Investment Joy. I thought, "Yeah, I want to run an investment blog, and I want to break all of the numbers down on all my dealings with, this is the property I bought for $25,000. We're gonna put $50,000 in it and just detail the renovations. At the end of the project, oh, I'm getting $1,000 a month off this. Here's what the cap rate looks like. Here's where my expense ratios are. Just different things like that." And I thought, oh, this is what I would just love to be able to break down the numbers. And it went essentially nowhere. Got into video production. I thought, well, the world's transitioning to video. I'll kind of can the blog thing and I'll go to video, and did that for about 2 years. Bought several really great real estate deals. Bought a train station that was turned into apartments. I thought, well, that's a cool video. It didn't go anywhere. Then I bought this laundromat, and I decided, this is another kind of business that no one knows they can make this kind of money. I talked to the elderly lady that owned the laundromat before me, and I thought, I would have never thought in a million years that a laundromat could make $8,500 a month. And the real estate and the business I got, was $60,000 at that point. So I thought, "Man, this would be a really great video series." And I started recording, what was it like owning the laundromat? And it didn't do bad. I got maybe 20 or 30,000 people that watched that process up to the point that we actually opened the business. And I've gone back and watched my first video that blew up, and I went through and I collected $145 worth of quarters. And that's all we made in like 3 days, which is practically nothing. But the amount of comments and feedback I had from people was just absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe a laundromat would make $145 in a 5 day or 7 day period. And, as I read through the comments, I thought, this is just absolutely stupid. Here we are, in one of the most informed societies in existence, or the most informed society. And no one knows that a business makes money. No one knows that a laundromat can make money, or a car wash can make money, or just any of these businesses that there are cash transactions. A customer hands you money and they get something for it. And, in the case of a laundromat, they're coming with dirty clothes and they're leaving with clean clothes, and you hopefully get some money off that transaction. And as time went on, my content has been focusing on, well, how much money is being brought in on these businesses. And I've got one video where I go to the laundromat with my son, and we empty the pop machine, we empty the bill exchanger. I think we end up with $800 or $900 over, that was a 4-day period. 125 million people, I think, at this point have watched it. I could be off by a little bit, but it's well over 110 million at this point. And the comments are just, people don't know that things make money. And on one end of the spectrum, I'm amazed, but I'm also on another side very disappointed, because people don't understand that businesses are here to make money. They're here to provide a service. And, my goal or my intention is to be able to explain to people how things make money. And, we've done that with the car wash. I've done that to an extent with the storage lockers. I've definitely done that with my real estate portfolio. But people just like seeing large packages of cash. I've done tests on TikTok where I've got a box back here with about $1,500 worth of $1 bills. And I've done retention studies. And when I bring that out and I put it on my desk, a large pile of cash, the number of people that watch that video that I'm going live triples. So it's a very odd situation. People like seeing the money, but then my ultimate goal is to be able to funnel that attention and talk about something more important, like how somebody should be starting a business, or how you should consider starting a business, or how you should consider investing in real estate. Because if we scroll back to my upbringing, my parents did not own their home until 2005 or 2006. So growing up, my whole family rented, and we just never thought it was possible to own a home. And then they figured out and got a home. And that kind of disconnection in society really concerns me, that people don't know, they don't know that they can invest in things and make money, or they think that it's impossible. And I've got quite a few people that I've been coming alongside and helping start a business, and a lot of them just are under this thought process that it's just impossible to start a business in this country. And yet people do it every day, and very oftentimes it's worth it. And my big goal was to try and encourage entrepreneurship, small business mindsets, and hopefully get more people investing in real estate too. Because for me, you know, as a real estate investor, but also a former tenant, is there's a huge housing shortage in the United States. And the only way that I feel like that could ever be addressed is to get more people involved in real estate investing.
Brandon, I love that you shared kind of a little bit about your background and your journey getting into it, because you're right on that. There's an opportunity for a lot of people, but if you're not aware that this is even a realistic option, no one's going to pursue that. And like you, I'm a big fan of real estate. And I think one thing that gives people a little bit of pause is just how cash intensive it is, right? For the deals we do, our multifamily deals, those are typically going to be deals where our investors are putting up $50,000 or more.
Mm.
So some folks may not be in a position to invest that at this point. I think one thing that I love about your content and your investing strategy is you got stuff that, on the vending machine side to, you got some gaming machines that you invest in as well. You have things that are really, I don't want to say low cost, but you could get in with $5,000 or less in some of these avenues, as well as going up to 50,000, 100,000 more with some of these businesses. Just talk a little bit more about kind of, I guess, the accessibility of some of the different investing strategies that you're employing.
Sure. And for me, anything can be done. Like the investment world in a similar way that I do. I don't feel that it would be impossible for somebody to learn how to syndicate a real estate deal. They bird dog a really great deal. They set up a syndication, and I think would be, could be, should be possible for somebody of an average background, for the most part, to set up a syndication and have a little piece of a large, like, multifamily puzzle. But the technical requirements, the knowledge requirements are, pretty substantial. It's not so much the money they have to put into it, because I'm pretty, I've done a couple syndications before. I didn't pay the fees to do the syndications. I got somebody else to pay for the syndication fees. Um, it's possible to do. It's a technical problem. What I'm trying to do is show different kinds of little micro investment strategies that people can get into, mostly as a confidence booster. Yeah, it's nice to see me on videos with a $600 Coke machine in front of a laundromat that makes 600 bucks a month, net income, or $500 a month net income. That's cool. That's fine. There's work involved. It isn't a decent level investment. It's not very passive, but doing that level of work, you can make 50, 75 bucks an hour. Well, my goal is to break the stuff down to people and show that it's approachable and doable, and that there's levels to this thing. You can start off with vending, you can start off with some sort of side hustle that is kind of an investment and move up. You can start off with vending, and then you get yourself a laundromat or car wash, or you can buy some other type of business, and then you can scale up and move up to real estate. Because ultimately, my first love is real estate when it comes to those kinds of things. But for a lot of people, it's just not approachable. It wasn't for my parents. Um, my parents just never thought they'd be able to own their own home. And, in my real estate mind, I'm like, why didn't you guys use dad's VA benefits and go get yourself a VA loan? Even in the 1990s, you could have got something with 3% to 5% down. There's also OFA bonding. You could have gone and got bond money from the state of Ohio and probably done it with no money out of pocket. And yet my parents rented the whole time. It's not because they weren't financially capable of it. It's because they didn't have the knowledge. And that's like the big differentiating factor from what I see. It's not mostly knowledge, but then there's kind of this mental block aspect. Oh gosh, I can't ever invest in real estate. It's too expensive. Well, you could, starting off, you can FHA house hack. And even then, when I talk to average people on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, they still feel like that is totally unapproachable. And then, the next question is, well, can you get 500 bucks together and buy a vending machine that makes a couple hundred bucks a month in profit? And 95% of the people I talk to say, oh yeah, I can do that. Let's do that. Let's do that thing that looks easy. And it's not that it's easy, because you have to negotiate with location owners. You're going to have to be able to understand how a contract works with vending. It's not technically, technically it's not extravagantly easy, but it's doable. Just like I feel that real estate's doable for a lot of people if they would hunker down and invest their time in it. And that's kind of where I'm trying to really situate myself so that I can educate and train people and help them get involved in, well, whether it's a decent business. I'd like people to be in $1 million businesses, or get them in real estate. And if I can, help people get in either of those places in life, I'll feel much more complete with what I do.
Yeah, Brandon, I love it, man. And you're right. The information, the education is so key. I know you spend a lot of your time creating content, creating those videos to show people that it is accessible, that you can get started, whether it's just with the vending machine. I don't want to say just with the vending machine, but whether it starts with the vending machine and use that to propel yourself forward, or if that's really where you want to stay. But the point is, you can get started. You just need access to the information. Lots of stuff is out there as far as education is concerned. I know you create your content. We've got our podcast. We also have our Midwest Real Estate Networking Summit coming up May 6th and 7th. You're going to be one of our guest speakers. Talk to us about, one, why you're excited to be a part of the event, but also what can our attendees expect when they see you on stage?
I would say it's one and the same. I love talking to people. I love speaking. You connected to me because I was speaking at another event. I just love being able to connect with people. I love sharing my stories in a one-on-one environment with people, and you can't do that really over a camera and social media, but you can do that at events, and that's why I just absolutely love in-person events. And I'll be there, and it'll be hard to get me to shut up, but at some point my stage time will run out, and I'll be off the stage. And it's my goal is always going to be to bring those small personal type conversations to the bigger stage. And I'm absolutely wanting to do that and excited for doing that at your summit. And I'm very much looking forward to being in Chicago. I've been in Chicago for a very long time, so I'm looking forward to that, meeting all the people that are there that are attending, and those that might follow me on social media and want to meet me in person.
Yeah, man, you're bringing the money gun too, right?
Um, no, I'm not bringing a money gun. The goal is I need to. I'm still trying to get some word from Chicago on what size of cannon I can bring in. But my goal is to bring a money cannon in and shoot it off in the event. I told you we signed a contract on this that I was going to bring a bunch of money to throw at people, or shoot at people. We just got to figure a safe way to do that. And as soon as I figure that how that's going to work, I'll let you know. But
I love it. I love it. It's not a
if
money gun. It's going to be a money cannon.
it's going to
So
be a money
I
cannon,
undersold
and
it.
if you come and listen to me speak at the networking summit, you'll probably go home with some of Investment Joy's money.
There you go.
I
I
want to
love
try
it.
and make sure that there's a logistical way that we can fill the whole event room with cash.
I love it. Well,
That's
listen,
my goal.
that's going to be a fun session when you get up there and spread that joy, man. It's going to be fun times. Hey, Brandon, I want to thank you again for doing this with us. We'll obviously make sure we have you as a part of our private Facebook group.
Cool.
And then, of course, you're going to be speaking at our event May 6th and 7th in Chicago. Real quick, for those folks who don't follow you on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook right now, what is the best way for them to connect?
All of my social media is at Investment Joy. I think that at this point, I'm on every single social media platform regularly, other than Snapchat. I'm told that we'll be on that at some point, but any social media, it's all at Investment Joy. I'm verified now on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter will be soon. So just make sure you get the verified version, because there's a bunch of imposters at this point. But it's usually the one. It's always the one with the most followers. So
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, great talking to you. We'll make sure we see you soon, and we'll
awesome.
make sure we do a little Q&A for all of our ticket holders in our
Cool.
private Facebook group. All right.
Great.
All right, listen, that's Brandon Schlichter. He is the guy behind Investment Joy. Going to be one of our key speakers at the Midwest Real Estate Networking Summit, May 6th and 7th. If you do not have your ticket, now is the time to get it. Pre-sale tickets actually end tonight at midnight. And if you want to save and get the most value out of your ticket, get it today. Use promo code Midwest, save $30 off of the pre-sale tickets, and you're going to get access to that private group. On top of that, I'm actually hosting a live workshop April 30th. That's right, 1 week before the conference. I'm doing a live capital raising blueprint workshop. If you want to be a part of that, get your ticket. You'll get free access to the workshop. Otherwise, tickets are going to be $50 for that workshop. But today is the day to get your ticket to the summit if you have been waiting. So do that. Until then, we look forward to staying in touch with you and being a part of this event. Take care.